DBD has 36 killers in the game, each with unique abilities that can either make them fun to play against or very annoying. This list is based off my opinion and is subjective. If you disagree, that's okay. Without further ado, here's ranking annoying killers in Dead by Daylight. The Trapper is probably the least annoying killer in the game, mostly because they're pretty bad and outdated. The Trapper's power is very easy to avoid, so it never feels like you can't do anything against them unlike other killers. There isn't much to say about poor Evan McMillan. Behavior, please give my boy a change. Hillbilly players deserve all the respect in the world, considering everything Behavior has done to poor Billy. His power requires skill to use, so when you go up against a Hillbilly, you at least know that the player on the other side is good if they're able to get a 4K. Much like the Trapper, Freddy is severely outdated and bad, and because of that, nobody plays him. I don't think I've ever gone against Freddy in a public lobby. I could have put him lower, but I think the only annoying thing about him is his perk Blood Warden. But other than that, if I see someone playing Freddy, I'll be more surprised than anything else. Wraith is a pretty good killer, but requires no skill to use. His base power isn't really annoying, as you're warned every time he's going in and out of his power, so you can try and counterplay accordingly. His iridescent add-on Bone Clapper, however, makes him significantly more annoying to play against because the bell becomes silent. Because of the lack of noise, counterplay becomes significantly harder. Because it's on a killer that's so easy to use, anybody can use this tactic successfully. Huntress, in my opinion, is one of the most fun killers to go against. The Huntress requires skill to use effectively. Not too much skill, granted, but you still need some. Counterplay can be fun against her, but it does mostly come down to mind gaming at a pallet on both sides. Getting crossbat by a Huntress never feels bad, because you know how difficult it is to do. Another outdated killer, Michael Myers is pretty fun to play against in general in my opinion, as he actually makes DBD feel like a horror game. It's also pretty easy to avoid his stalking once you see him, so there's a lot of opportunity for counterplay. The only annoying part of Myers is if the player is using Judith Myers' Tombstone, as no matter what hook stage you're in, you can get insta-moried. It seems like nobody plays the Hag anymore, although I don't know why. Much like Myers, I feel like Hag can make the game feel like horror, as getting jumpscared by a Hag trap is always fun in my opinion. There's pretty decent counterplay against her, as you can use flashlights to get rid of the traps. Hag could be lower on the list, but in my personal experience, the Hags I've gone against have always slugged the entire team, which can be annoying. I know that's not all Hags, but this list is based on my opinions and experiences. The Artist is another killer I rarely go against, and when I do, it's normally pretty fun. Her power is pretty easy to avoid, as the birds just go in a straight line, and even if you do get hit, you can rebuild the birds pretty easily by going to a locker or just holding a button down. The Unknown is one of the most fun killers to go against in my opinion. Its powers are cool and have counterplay on the survivor side. That's easy to do, but not so easy that the killer can't do anything. His UVX ability requires skill to use and get good plays with, and you can get rid of its effect easily by just looking at the Unknown while in chase. The Pig is a killer whose counterplay is completely RNG, which I think is annoying. Once you get a bear trap on your head, you must go to one of the sob boxes and can either get a key right away or at the last one you check. I know it wouldn't be fair to have it always be the first time or the last, but that's what it feels like. When I play as Survivor, it's always the last box, but when I play as the Pig, the Survivors get them off first try. The Ghost Face is more annoying to play as rather than against in my opinion. His reveal mechanics feel very buggy, as when you're playing as them, it feels like you get revealed instantly when the Survivors aren't even looking at you. The most annoying part of playing against Ghostface is getting marked and insta-down, but you'll most likely see him before they can finish marking you. The Oni is a killer that requires a decent amount of skill to use well, at least using Blood Fury correctly. For Survivors, it can be annoying getting dashed at before you can do anything getting insta-downed, and because of his ability to dash at you so quickly, Chase feels unwinnable at times. The Demogorgon is generally fun to play against in my opinion, but his map pressure and shred ability can make playing Survivor against them awful at times. With the Demo's ability to teleport, it can be hard to get gens done without him popping out of a portal, and Shred can make Chase feel unwinnable as before you can make it to a pallet or a window, you're already down. The Xenomorph is a better version of the Demogorgon in my opinion, and has the same annoying parts that the Demo does. The map pressure can be annoying, and Chases can too, because when you try and play a pallet or window, you can just get hit by the tail and get injured anyway. Even with the flamethrowers to knock them out of their power, you can feel helpless against the alien. The Lich came out the day I'm writing this script, and I played a decent amount of games against them today. The magic items can make it easy to counter him, but it still feels like the powers can just completely you. The Orb especially. I hate the Orb. The Lich is really cool though, Behavior, don't nerf him please. The Drudge isn't a very good killer in general, but the thing that makes him awful to play against is his Nightfall power. I literally can't see anything, I know that's the point, but like how is this fun for anyone? There's no counterplay. Chucky is a very fun killer to play as, but playing against him can be a chore in my opinion. His small stature makes him hard to track, even when he's in chase, and the Slice and Dice ability has the same issue as the Xeno's tail attack by making chases feel unwinnable. They did nerf his Scamper ability in the most recent update, so it's easier to play pallets against him. Chucky is my favorite horror character though, and his voice lines make getting down by him not feel as bad. Hopefully the newest update actually makes people play Leatherface more, but in the meantime, most Bubba players just play Basement Bubba, including me. The most annoying playstyle of any killer, in my opinion. The insta-down chainsaw isn't normally that big of a deal because you can vault windows and play pallets, but with the new update, it's going to be way harder to avoid and will probably just make this basement playstyle even better than it already is. Pyramid Head's annoying factor can come from one of two things in my opinion, the built-in Mori and the barbed wire on the ground. While the wire is normally avoided easily, wall and chases sometimes feel like you can't do anything against this ranged attack and getting hindered by it, because you're just going to get put into a corner and hit it anyway. While not many people play Blight, when going against him, you can feel like you're never going to be able to win a chase because of his ability. Another thing is that because he's so fast, he can have insane map pressure, which makes playing against him feel even worse. How am I supposed to get a gen done when this British dude is jashing at me every 5 seconds? The Nemesis's main annoying factor is his tentacle. His zombies can be annoying, but they are rarely useful, so it isn't too bad to play against. The tentacle makes playing windows or pallets awful because it feels like it's always hit, even when you seem to be out of range. When playing against the nurse, you're either going to be going up against an absolutely terrible one, or a god. Her power breaks the whole game in my opinion, as it makes chases obsolete, and they can move around the map so fast it feels like no matter what, you're doomed. She's been overpowered since her release, and she'll never be changed because she's free. And if they did change her, behavior would be accused of pay-to-win practices. When playing against a condemned playstyle Sadako, you know you're in for a miserable time. They changed the tape, so now you always have to run to the farthest TV to use it, and that gives the Unreal plenty of time to catch you. But teleporting also allows her to have pretty good map pressure, and you can't do anything to stop it. The Legion turns DBD into a mending simulator, which sucks. What's also annoying is that the counterplay against Legion is just not to heal, because no matter what you do, you're either going to be stuck mending, or die. The best thing you can do against a Legion is literally just to let them kill you, because you're not going to be in for a good time. 2 words. Chain Hunt. While playing in the Swift, chain hunts are no problem, because you can communicate on who's going to the box. Even then, Pinhead can just teleport to the box and get instant pressure on that one survivor, but, you know, it's not that big of a deal. Playing solo queue as a survivor is a different story, though, and when you're going against a Pinhead, it's probably the most painful experience on TBD, because without communication, you're most likely all going to be trying to do the box and not doing gens, which benefits Pinhead. The Deathslinger Spear Rifle is one of the most annoying killer powers in the game, as it feels like most of the hits that they get from it are unfair. The Deathslinger can also create a mending simulator similar to the Legion if they're good, although it doesn't happen as often. Thankfully, not many people play the Singularity, and that's good because he feels awful to go against. The biopods are very annoying to deal with, because even if you get an EMP, it's very easy for another one to get attached to you from the turrets or the Singularity itself. Another awful thing about the pods is that it allows killers to teleport to you, which can make tunneling very easy for the killer. The twins are one of the worst killers in the game because of their design. Their power is terrible for both sides. Victor can be taken hostage for long periods of time and can be kicked easily. The problem is when Victor does his job and downs a survivor, it's normally far away from Charlotte, so the killer is forced to slug, which is no fun for the survivor. Behavior, for the love of God, please, please change the twins. Wesker is one of the most fun killers to play as. His dash can feel so satisfying to hit, but it does not feel as good when you're on the receiving end. Being in chase and getting caught up to immediately with the dash and being hit can be super frustrating, and really good Wesker players can turn easily, making trying to get out of its range pointless. The Knight has the ability to multitask well, unlike other killers, and this can make games very annoying. With this guard, he could chase one survivor while the guards chase another. He could be chasing a survivor and apply Drescher to a gen with a guard, and even though he has to stand still to create a patrol path, he gains haste, which allows him to catch up to a survivor who may have gained distance pretty easily. Rin's rage seems to spread to me whenever I play against her. Even though her power makes survivors invisible to her, she can still hear them pretty easily and see their scratch marks. Her becoming invisible while doing it also makes it very difficult for the survivors to track her. It can lead to situations where it feels like you're gonna go down no matter what you do. The Doctor has one of the most annoying powers in the game. He can track survivors so easily with the shocks and can knock them out of whatever they're doing with it. His Static Blast also has such a large radius that he can find survivors no matter where they are in smaller maps. The Doctor sucks and there's no real counterplay against him. Also, impossible skill check Doctors are kind of fun to go against, but only because it's such a weird experience. The Clown has the most annoying anti-loop power in the game, as there's nothing the survivors can do if they are at a pallet or window. The Clown shuts down the most fun part of DBD, which are chases. Therefore, it makes the game suck when playing against them. Speaking of no counterplay in chase, the Trickster! When you're in chase with him and you're getting his kunais thrown at you, there's nothing you can do. The Trickster is actually one of the most boring killers to play as and play against, and I hope behavior can make him more fun for both sides. Do I even have to explain myself with this one? If you get in a 3-chin situation, you're done for. She's so boring on all counts. Her design, her power, her everything. Everybody hates the Skull Merchant for a reason. The Plague is a killer that creates a lose-lose situation for survivors, with nothing that can be done to prevent it. Her power will make survivors broken and unable to heal, meaning they have to stay injured the whole game. They could remove the sickness and get rid of that effect, but all it does is make the Plague even more powerful, because her power will now insta-down survivors. No matter what you do against this killer, it's going to be a negative for survivors. Killer with no counterplay sucks, and I think the behavior should implement some more counterplay. So that's it. That's my list of the most annoying killers in DBD. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with my placements, and yeah, that's it. See you next time.